Internet, it is Monday, October 14th. I am your host, Chet Siegel, and this is your Guyism Speed Round. This weekend was New York City's Comic Con, and for those of you who don't know, that means that over 100,000 fans joined forces to celebrate comics, graphic novels, anime, manga, television, toys, movies, and absolutely everything nerdy in between. I sent a very good friend of mine, Kiko, over to Comic-Con this weekend to check things out for us over here at Guyism. So, Kiko, tell us about your adventures. Comic-Con this year was October 9th through the 13th. I got a 4-day pass, so it was Thursday through Sunday. It ended yesterday, along with the longest relationship of my life, which was 7 years. Where did you stay during Comic-Con? I stayed in Penn Station. Kyle stayed with a friend. I thought I was going to be crashing with Kyle's friend, but apparently there was only room for one in his apartment. And what were you dressed as at the convention? I dressed as Yumi Yoshimura from Hi Hi Puffy Ami Yumi. She's part of a punk rock band. She plays guitar, sings vocals, kind of like I do. Typically, when you're in a couple at Comic-Con, you try to dress in complementary costumes. Like, for example, this year I suggested we go as Melisandre and Lord Baelish, our two favorite characters from Game of Thrones, but Kyle shut that down pretty quick, and that should have been a clue for me. So, I heard there was some sort of controversy on Thursday at Comic-Con. If you checked in on Twitter, it allowed the convention to use your account to send tweets. How did this affect you? I was sad that my Twitter account didn't get hacked. I would gladly be a vessel for the con. Of course, it's a star-studded event. There must have been tons and tons of lines. What was the longest line that you waited in? The longest line that I waited in was probably the David Duchovny and Gillian Anderson line. I mean, obviously, it's the 20th anniversary of X-Files, and actually, it's kind of sad now that I think about it, because Kyle told me to wait in that line, and about 6 hours into it, I catch out of the corner of my eye Kyle in a three-way makeout with Madam Hydra and a fat Mad Moxie. Would you go to con next year? I would absolutely go again. I mean, he can't take this from me. I was a huge fan of comic books and fantasy before him, and I will continue to be after him. So, fuck you, Kyle. Do you have any advice for people who want to go to Comic-Con next year? Make sure your costume is bathroom accessible, because last year I wore a unitard and I didn't urinate for 37 hours straight. Well, thanks for talking to us, Kiko, and I am really sorry to hear about your breakup. All right, guys, that is going to do it for today's Guyism Speed Round. I have been and will continue to be Chet Siegel. If you liked what you saw, click that like button on down below. Shoot this link to a couple of your nearest and dearest. If you got questions for me, by God, ask them on my Facebook page. Or tweet them at me at Chet Siegel. Either way, they're going to get to me, I promise. Also, our parent company, Woven, has started a new YouTube channel where you can find tons of non-speed round content from me and also from Ryan Jones. Like his Man in the Mirror video, where he went to a bunch of different bars, sang Michael Jackson songs, made an ass of himself in a very hilarious way. So make sure you subscribe to that channel, subscribe to this channel for the speed round, and just come back tomorrow for more headlines that you need to know.
I had a whole elaborate thing planned where he was going to do a scavenger hunt and find our pug dressed up as Chewbacca with a ring around his neck.